Hey, here we are. Math B 2018 Fall Finals, Notes and Study Guide, page 3. So, percent proportion. This is some of the material we worked towards the end of the semester about percentages. Remember, there's 3 parts to a percent proportion. Remember, a proportion. Boy, has this come up a lot this semester. A proportion is when you have 2 equivalent ratios. If I used a number example, I could say 1/2 is equal to 3/6, right? Because 1 times 6 is 6, 2 times 3 is 6. I can see it that way. You'll often see it written algebraically like this. And all they're saying is that a proportion looks like this. You've got one ratio and it's equal to another ratio. A percent proportion is a particular kind of ratio where one of the ratios is a percent. And there's 3 parts to it. There's the part, there's the whole, and then there's the percentage. And the language you want to pay close attention to, in this case, is. Oftentimes you'll see is or something that you can read as is. The whole is of or out of, and the percentage, of course, we often see it written like this. And there's a tool for setting up all these different problems, no matter how they're worded or what they're asking. And this we showed in class, and it's simply this: is over of equals percent, or I'm going to use this version because remember, percent means out of 100. Percent means out of 100, so 5% means 5 out of 100, written as a decimal, 0.05. So I'm going to use this tool to answer a huge variety of questions. And the steps are going to be to set up using this, reduce to ease calculations if necessary, and then then we cross multiply. Sometimes you can see an answer from just equivalent fractions, but cross multiply is something that all students, middle school and beyond, need to be comfortable doing. So find 40% of 68. So I want to know this part out of this whole, and I'm comparing it to a percentage. So I'm going to use my little tool. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down my tool, because that's going to help me unlock the language. So some value over 100. So what pieces am I given? Well, notice of 68, out of 68. So of there goes with of here. So let's go like this. So 68 is going to go in the bottom. And then the other thing I'm given the percent, right? So there's the percent. So that is going to go right there. So how to write 40% as a fraction? Well, 40 over 100. And this is the part I want. I need to know what the part is. I'll just put an X. So I could also ask this question this way. What is 40% of 68? That's another way to write this same question. So now I'm going to do cross product. So I have 100 times x is 100x. Ooh, it seems big, but actually I like the fact it's 100x. And then I have 68 times 40. 68, I'll use parentheses for multiply, times 40. So 100x is equal to 68 times 40. Now, doggone it, what is 68 times 40? I don't want to, actually this problem's not so bad, because 68 times 40, this will be 0 and 0. So I need to go to the 4, so I put down a 0. 4 times 8 is 32, carry the 3. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 3 is 27. So I have this equation that looks like this. It looks kind of messy, right? But actually not so. Because what do I have to do next? I have to divide. I want to get x by itself, right? So what I'm going to do is I need to divide both sides by 100. 100 divided by 100 is x. And here's a nice thing. Hey, check it out. Since I'm dividing by 100, all I need to do is move the decimal point over as many zeros as I have in the bottom here. Because if it's 10 or 100 or 1,000, I can just move by the number of zeros. So here's the number 20. I'm just going to write it over here. Where is the decimal point in this number as written? Because I don't see any. It's always to the far right. And I have 2 zeros. And so I'm going to divide, I'm going to move it over 2 places. So I'm going to go once, twice. It means it's going to end up right there. Between 7 and the 2 to the right. So x is going to equal 27 and 2 tenths, 27 and 20 hundredths, either way. So what's that saying? It's saying that 27 and 2 tenths is 40% of 68. Let's try another one. 9 is 12% out of what number? Oh, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write my little tool is over of equals some percentage. Now, what do I have in this case? Well, I still see I have a percent like I had last time, so there's 12%, so that's going to be this. And this time, though, they're telling me what it is. It's 9. They're telling me that it's 9. But what they're not giving me is the out of. Last time I got the out of 68. This time they're asking me. So my is 9. I don't know what this is. So when I don't know what it is, that's going to get the variable is going to equal to 12 out of 100. Cross multiply. 12 times x is 12x is equal to 900. I noticed that I can simplify this. I'm not sure if that would help in this case, but I could divide both of these by 4, can't I? So 12, I can divide 12 by 4, I can divide 100 by 4. If I did that, I would have 3 over 25. And I don't know if that makes it simpler. So this is the same problem. All I did is I simplified this one side, and that would give me what? Then I cross multiply and I have 3x is equal to 925. So it takes 4 25s to make 100. So this is going to be 225. This does look a little easier, doesn't it? Is this divisible by 3? Let's check. I'll add the digits. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. Is 9 divisible by 3? Yes, it is. So I can divide this by 3 easily. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 1 times x is x. So 3 divided by 225. 3 divided by 2, let me go like this. Just something to sort of cover things up. I can't get anything out of that, but how many 3's can I get out of 22? Well, I can get 7. Because 3 times 7 is 21, then I'd have 1 left over. 1 next to a 5 would be 15. How many? So 15 divided by 3 is 5. So it's x over 75. Let's just go like this real quick. We'll break out a calculator. Let's try this. If we did this, what is 900 divided by 12? We'll try that. Let's clear things. What is 900 divided by 12? That gives me 75. So you get the same answer either way. But that was a little, I like dealing with smaller numbers. Next problem. What percent is 6 out of 4? Notice this time, they're not telling me the percent. They're asking me what percent. So percent we did in pink, right? So what percent? I don't know. But they give me the is 6 out of 4. So there's that same language. So is over of is equal to some value over 100. My is 6. My out of is 4 equals some value of 100. I don't know. So let's solve this. 6 over 4 can simplify quite easily. If I divide this by 2 and divide this by 2, I would have 3 over 2 is equal to n over 100. And now when I do this, 2 times n is 2n. I'm going to continue up here. And 3 times 100 is 300. Divide both sides by 2. Well, that's just taking half. N equals 150. So remember, this is n, and it's asking what percent. So what I have to do is I have to take this and I have to put the value of n right back there. So I have 150 over 100, but percent means out of 100, right? Oh, darn it, I didn't have this up. So percent means out of 100. Isn't this out of 100? So this is 150%. I hope that made sense. So is over of equals some value out of 100. That's my tool. I put the 6 in for is. I put the 4 in for of. Then I have n over 100. And now I solved. But I noticed that I could simplify 6 over 4 to get 3 over 2. Then I just had 2n equals 300. Divide both sides by 2. N equals 150. When I put this back in here, because this is my percent, I had 150 over 100. Well, percent means out of 100. So I have 150 out of 100, 150%. Okay, here, now we're getting close to some of the last ideas we covered. Percent change. What is it? How much something changes compared to where it started. So you have to know what a beginning value is and what an ending value is, expressed as a percent. Because there's going to be a ratio we're going to write here, and we have to express it as a percent. And so our definition here that we did was the change from the start to beginning over the starting amount. There's different ways they say the starting amount. So let's look at an example here. A year ago, it cost $12 to download an app. Now it costs $15 to download the same app. Find the percent change in the price of the download. Find the percent change. So simplified wording. So if I just want to take this and just kind of condense it down, find the percent change from 12 to 15. Okay, so what is the change? Well, the change is just, first of all, I can see it's an increase, right? This is going to be an increase. I'm going from 12 to 15, so that's just 15 minus 12 is equal to 3. And my starting amount, where did I start? I started from 12. So what I'm going to have here is I'm going to have 3. Remember, this is just the change. I wish I hadn't written it quite this way. Starting amount 12. So I've got this right here, 3 over 12. Well, what does 3 over 12 simplify to? Because we want to write this as a percent. And we got a couple different ways we can do it. If I divide top and bottom by 3, would that help me? That's going to equal 1 out of 4. Oh, I like that. Why do I like that? Because changing from a fraction to a percent, there's a couple ways to do it. One is I can make the bottom into 100. I can do that by multiplying top and bottom by 25. All right, slide this up a little more. 1 times 25 is 25. 4 times 25 is 100. 25%. The other way that we covered in 6th grade was to first change the fraction into a decimal and then go from a decimal to a percent. It'd work out the same way. We'll do that, and that'll be it for this video here. So 1 over 4 is 1 divided by 4. Excuse me a second, I'm just moving this. How many 4s can I get out of 1? I get 0, so I have to put down a decimal point and bring the decimal point up out of 0. How many 4s do I get out of 10? I can get 2. 2 times 4 is 8. I have to subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. I have to add another 0 and bring it down. How many 4s can I get out of 20? I get 5. 5 times 40 is 20. So 1/4 is equal to 0 and 25/100. Well, how do you go from a decimal to percent? You just move the decimal point over 2 places and you add the percent sign. So I'll write it down here. That's effectively multiplying by 100. So if I go once, twice, I'm at 5 decimal percent. You add the percent. That's it for page number 3.